losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to another exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports. I'm K-Spade, the prospect.
I'm your boy LaParis 57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. Let's go, Spade. What happened today, Spade?
Man, I don't know. I don't even know.
Man, for starters, we got to start off with the big news today, the blockbuster. And when I say blockbuster, I'm still stunned. I'm still like, what just happened? Man, the blockbuster trade today, if you guys are living under a rock, was Shady Mccoy. LaShawn McCoy, running back from the Philadelphia Eagles, got traded to the Buffalo Bills for Kiko Alonso. Linebacker Kiko Alonso. Spade, what is going on today, bro?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think anybody, and when I say anybody, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Now, I just read a report that LaDainian Tomlinson says for the NFL Network that he was told by Shady McCoy a couple of weeks ago that the Philadelphia Eagles wanted to go into a different direction. I'm not saying LT is lying, but LT, that's the type of stuff you bring to the table, my friend. That's the type of stuff that catapults you ahead of the rest of the news. You know, that's crazy. I got a question for you, though, LaPaz. For those who don't know, Kiko is coming back off of a torn ACL. Like, the obvious question is who wins this trade? I mean, I think I know the answer, but I'm asking you, who wins this trade?
I gotta go with Buffalo. To me, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get, because you get your stats, you get your stat on, so I'm pretty sure you got some stats over there. But Buffalo had a pretty good defense last year without Kiko. So
a really good defense. Top fourth in the league. Great defense.
Top four. See what I'm saying? And now they get a defensive-minded coach that's probably going to make them better. They get Rex Ryan over there, who's probably arguably one of the best defensive minds in the game. They get Shady McCoy.
But I want to jump back. Let me back up. I asked you who won, and you said clearly Buffalo. Now, I think Buffalo won too, but just to play devil's advocate, let's go back. Let me tell you what Philadelphia was able to do. First of all, let's talk about these two contracts, all right? So I got it right here. Shady's contract, 5 years, $45 million through 2017, guaranteed $20.8 million.
Deservingly so. Deservingly so.
Coming off a pretty bad year for Shady. A pretty bad year for Shady.
You get one. Everybody get one.
Okay. Hold on to that. I'm coming back. All right.
Okay.
Kiko, 4-year deal, $4.3 million through 2016. So he's got one more year on this deal. Guaranteed $2.5 million. What they did was they got a young player. Granted, he's coming off an ACL injury. They got a young player who don't cost a lot, who's got 1 year left on his deal. So if he don't come out there and look great this year, guess what? They going to let him go.
Okay.
But Buffalo brings in Shady, who comes in talking about wanting to work on his deal. He wants more than this big-ass number I just said. Shady ain't even there yet.
Deservingly so, Spade.
He don't call Buffalo like, look, before I get there, y'all need to be thinking about how much more money y'all gonna give me. Here's another thing. I'm just piling all this on so you guys will have food for thought.
Okay.
In the last 2 seasons, no NFL running back has more carries than Shady McCoy. Now, I'm throwing that in there to say, you said he's entitled to one bad season. But if this bad season is the result of him having a lot of miles on his motor, it don't get better. It just continues to go down. I saw it with Jamal Anderson. I think that the Falcon fans will just tell you, they just saw it with Steven Jackson. The Rams used to run the hell out of Steven Jackson. And then the Falcons went and bought a used car because they was like, it's not that old. But they didn't know that it had like 200,000 miles on the odometer. Then they got it back to Atlanta, and the damn thing wouldn't start half the time. So, I don't know. Shady's got a lot of miles on him. He costs a lot of money. Maybe, like I said, I think Buffalo won that deal too. I'm just giving you food for thought. Maybe in the end, maybe Philly's smarter than we're giving them credit for, man.
Wait. Now, I don't want to say, you know, to me they clearly won, but I think both parties make out good because clearly with Chip Kelly offense they're going to be able to put up points. Clearly. But you know, they needed help. They needed help on defense. Their defense was horrible. They just cut some defensive players. Kerry Williams out of there. Trent Cole out of there. So, I mean, they cut a lot of defensive players, so they clearly need some help on defense. So I think the trade works out for everybody. But to me, I think Shady can last through the length of his contract moving forward for Buffalo. I think it works out better for Buffalo.
But that means nothing. You're talking about him lasting through the length of this contract. He talking about a new one. He don't want this contract no more.
Listen, well, that's on Buffalo's GM and they owner to decide that. But if they keep him for what his contract is now, to me it's clear. Now, if they give him an extension and he start being cheeks after these couple of years, that's on them. That's on them. But
right.
The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure the Buffalo Bills are going to make the contract, even if they do lengthen the years and the money. It's going to be organization friendly, meaning that it won't be a lot of guaranteed money, or it's going to be a lot of guaranteed money up front, and it ain't going to cost them on the back end. Trust me, them people are smart up there, and I'm pretty sure they're going to find a way to work it out.
Okay, well, let me throw some more conspiracy theory your way.
Okay.
All right, so Kiko Alonso played college ball at Oregon. We all know Chip Kelly used to be the head coach at Oregon. We also heard the Eagles say they would be interested in trading up for a shot at Marcus Mariota. You buy this as some Oregon Brotherhood type mess, or is it really a business move?
I think if Chip Kelly can turn that green and white to green and yellow over there, it would be the Philadelphia Ducks, not the Eagles. Like he's definitely trying to pick up all his former players over there in Philly. So I guess all Philly fans about to be Oregon Duck fans because that's who Philadelphia is about to be. That's who they're about to be. Yeah, that's who they are. That's who they are. So I definitely buy some of that. You know what I mean? I've been hearing that they might trade up for Mariota, and personally, I think it's going to happen. It don't look like Nick Foles. It don't look like they want Nick Foles to be the guy of the future. I think they want Mariota, and I'm pretty sure Chip Kelly, he's been kind of savvy, and he's been kind of savvy in the league. He's probably going to do something to make it happen.
I also want to throw this in. You talked about Trent Cole, Kerry Williams, and now the move that just ultimately moved Shady McCoy. That just freed up something like $30 million for the Eagles. I expect the Eagles to make another move that's going to have us like, what? So expect that. It's a lot of free agents out there. And I think the Eagles they looking to make some moves, man. So expect that. That's what I got to say.
Well, so, Jeremy Maclin is also a free agent. They didn't put the tag on him, shockingly. They didn't tag him, so we have to wait and see, man. Do they not want Jeremy Maclin? I heard Jeremy Maclin may be headed to San Francisco or Oakland. We have to wait and see, man. It's going to be
please not Oakland.
Please not Oakland. I know nobody want to go to Oakland. Nobody want to go to Oakland. But we have to wait and see, man. It's going to be a very interesting offseason, man, for real.
Well, you know what? It's some more big news, man. Everyone was shocked by the Detroit Lions not franchise tagging Ndamukong Suh. Easily one of the most disruptive defensive linemen. Young guy, bright future, bad attitude at times. Maybe some things that might be a little below the belt, a little dirty. But some football players really like that edge. And I, for one, was shocked that they didn't franchise tag him. But you got some insight on why they probably didn't tag him, right?
First and foremost, the franchise tag kind of puts you in that. If you guys don't know what the franchise tag is, teams can put that tag on the player that they do not want to leave, and it kind of pays them between the first and like the fifth best player at their position. So it averages out the salary, and they get paid between there. Which probably for Ndamukong Suh being a defensive tackle, he would have got paid probably $11, $12, $13 million. But because but there's more. Because Ndamukong Suh's salary was more than that last year, they would have to pay him 120% more. So Ndamukong Suh's salary last year was $22.4 million for 2014. So they would have to pay him that plus 120% more, which means Ndamukong Suh would have cost $27 million against the cap next year if they would have franchised him. That's why Detroit didn't franchise him. But not only that, a lot of suitors are trying to sway Ndamukong Suh to leave Detroit. You know, Detroit probably still going to give him an offer, a more respectable offer than 20-something million a year. But a lot of people, the Redskins, the Niners, the Raiders, a lot of people are saying the Raiders have a great shot to land Ndamukong Suh. Shockingly, the Kansas City Chiefs. Could you imagine him and Big Poe in the middle?
With Big DeVito on the outside? No, sir.
And don't forget, they got the sack leader over there, Justin Houston, who had 22.5 sacks, man. Woo. That's crazy. So a lot of people are interested in Ndamukong Suh. Not only them, the Giants, the Cowboys, a lot of people, man. So we have to wait and see what happens with this.
Now, I'm going to tell you one team you didn't mention, though, that should be trying to get Ndamukong Suh. Atlanta Falcons. You guys' defense is embarrassing. You get no pressure on the quarterback. Your secondary is weak. Y'all better get in the line. He probably ain't going there anyway, but you better get in the line. But go ahead, bro. What was you about to say?
I was going to say, where would you see Ndamukong Suh playing next year? But before you go, let me tell you, with Ndamukong Suh attitude, like his attitude, I can see him playing for the Raiders, just nasty. And me and you've been watching football for a long time, so we remember them old Raiders. They was nasty. They'll spit on you, punch you. You remember them? Like, I can see Ndamukong Suh playing with the Raiders, man. I don't know if that's where you're gonna go. I would like Ndamukong Suh to go back to Detroit, though. That's what I would like to see.
Well, you know, the Raiders of today, they aren't those Raiders. You talking about Zato and you know what I'm saying? Those guys that that ain't the Raiders no more. Now he could change the culture. Some of these players are culture changing players, and I believe Ndamukong Suh is that type of player. He could go to that Raider team and fire that defense up and have them kicking some. Yo, he could do it.
Yeah, I believe so.
Personally, I wouldn't want to see him there. I don't know, man. It's a lot of teams that really need to vie for him. I feel like the team to me that's most dangerous. I didn't think about the Kansas City thing you said. That's really scary. But man, if this guy somehow or another lands in San Francisco, oh my God, man.
Yeah.
That'll just be, that'll be scary.
Yeah.
That'll be scary.
It could be a problem. It could be a problem. I'm a big Ndamukong Suh fan. I would like to see him go back to Detroit and kind of, because, you know, he pretty much changed the culture in Detroit, too. Because now they like this big, nasty defense, too, which they wasn't a few years before they got Ndamukong Suh. They wasn't that. So he definitely changed the culture over there, too. But, you know, him with the Niners, him with Kansas City would be ugly. It would be ugly.
It really
would.
We
really have to wait and see, man. There's a lot of things happening this offseason, man. A lot of things.
All right, man. So, can I talk about another sport?
Yeah, we can change topics. Let's go.
Let's talk about some NBA, man. One of the best NBA games of the year so far just happened for us, man. That was, whoever would have thought, it was the Cavaliers minus Kyrie Irving versus the Houston Rockets minus Dwight Howard. And it was one hell of a game. We got a chance to see James Harden versus LeBron James. After the game, which was an overtime thriller, after the game, we saw some more stuff. James Harden has been suspended for one game for kicking LeBron in his upper thigh. It wasn't in the gonads. It was in his upper thigh. It was pretty close, babe. It was in his upper thigh. And also, the Houston Rockets may have taken a shot at LeBron James. They tweeted a picture of James Harden and his numbers for the MVP race, because we all know that LeBron James is making a conscious effort at the MVP race. If you didn't know, I know I'm getting out of, I'm going crazy, but this is what I do with numbers. LeBron James had only attempted 30 shots in a game once before the Houston game. And he had like 15 or 16 shot attempts at the half in that Houston game. At times, the Cavaliers looked like Miami. He was just telling people to move out the way, and he was just ISOing and just bulldozing his way to the basket. It was apparent that LeBron wanted to send a message to James Harden and the MVP voters that he wanted to be in that race. But the Rockets put out this tweet with James Harden's picture and his stats, and it says, "The real King James." So, man,
Wow.
it was a hell of a game, man. I want to know how you felt about that game. And can we expect more of this moving toward the playoffs?
I mean, it definitely had that playoff feel to it. I remember me and you was talking during the game, like, man, look what's going on.
Yeah,
it was some scrapes, it was some scuffles, it was some kicks. Only thing it wasn't was some punches, but it almost got there.
I believe if Pat Beverly had got up, we would have saw some punches.
Yeah. I mean, Pat Beverly is definitely a goon. He a goon. But to me, this is what you expect, man. It's getting close to that time. Playoffs right around the corner. This is what you want to see. Both of these guys, James Harden and LeBron, they both wanted it. Regardless whether it was, a lot of people were saying, well, the game, LeBron missed a lot of free throws at the free throw line. A lot of people was saying, the game don't matter. It's just a regular season game. But this is what you want to see. You want to start to feel that playoff intensity because this could potentially be a matchup going to the finals. Potentially. I'm not saying it's going to be it or not, but they could meet in the finals. So this is what you want to see. So I definitely enjoyed the game. Your boy Dellavedova kind of hurt them too. I think if Kyrie would have been out there, it would have been a way better game also. But I mean, this is exactly what you want. Getting close to the playoffs. You want to see these guys attacking each other like this. You want to see some kicks. You want to see some people getting upset with hard fouls. You want to see Patrick Beverly getting up in LeBron's face to show him we here, and we ain't scared. I like that game on Sunday. One of the best games probably so far this season.
Well, let me ask you this: for that game, and I know this one right here is gonna really get people going, but for that game, in your opinion, who was the best player on the court?
James Harden.
Yes, sir. James Harden is amazing. I'm gonna tell you, he gave LeBron a move that game. He missed the shot. That's the only reason why he wasn't all over ESPN. If he had drained that shot after that dribble move he gave LeBron, he just dropped Rubio like a week ago. Had Rubio falling all over the damn place. If he'd have made that shot, man, I'm telling you, James Harden is fun to watch. A lot of people give him a hard time about how many points he get at the free throw line, and that's a whole new school basketball fan. I don't understand the basketball fans that cry about flopping. I don't understand the basketball fans that cry about guys who know how to draw contact and get to the line. If I'm a coach or a GM or a team owner, I want some floppers and I want some guys who can get to the charity stripe. And nobody does that getting to the charity stripe better than James Harden, and at times nobody does the flop better than LeBron James. James Harden kicked that man in the thigh, and LeBron grabbed his package and fell back like 20 feet. You'd have thought Andre the Giant kicked him in his nuts. It was crazy. And I enjoyed every bit of it, man. I love both of those players. I know, a lot of times they're not they're popular, but I mean, both of those guys got a lot of haters. But I love them both. Those are my two favorite players, and I enjoyed every bit of that game, man.
Yeah, it was an amazing game, man. It was an amazing game. Like I said, one of the best so far this whole season. But hopefully, getting closer to the playoffs, we'll see some more of these type of games where people want to go at each other. At one point, LeBron was D'ing James Harden, and James Harden was D'ing LeBron.
Yes, sir.
I said, man, like that's what you want to see right there. But Spade, I got some maybe I'm gonna say devastating news coming out of Denver. Can I talk about that?
Devastating? What's this?
Yeah. So Brian Shaw pretty much got fired as the Denver Nuggets head coach, man. And I'm kind of torn because I like Brian Shaw, and maybe it's me liking him because I've seen him, evolve from a player to a coach. So I kind of root for guys like that. Like even though Derek Fisher is, just was a player last year, now he's a head coach. I kind of root for him because he made that transition. But Brian Shaw went to Denver. For whatever reason, it didn't work out. I don't think they gave him a fair shot. You might disagree. But to me, I want guys like Brian Shaw, guys like not Jason Kidd, Derek Fisher. I want guys, Patrick Ewing might be the smartest assistant coach because don't take a bad job, man. And to me, that Denver job was a fail from the jump, man. It was a fail from the jump.
Why you feel like that?
I mean, ever since George Karl left and Melo left, They got some good pieces, but ever since then, they had one good year when they was in the playoffs, and JaVale McGee kind of was like the anchor, and Gallinari was healthy. Ever since then, I mean, Kenneth Faried been off and on this year, at least this year. Last year he played pretty well, but this year, and I mean, it just seemed like it didn't click over there. And that Ty Lawson, he just been a head case. I don't know what's going on with Ty Lawson. A lot of people were saying he was a top 5 guard in the league, and I just don't see it. And when Brian Shaw got that job, I was like, okay, he's a perfect fit for this job, but it did not work out. I don't think that's a good job moving forward.
That team hasn't changed much. That team hasn't changed much. So I mean,
still don't think it's a good job moving forward.
Why not? When Carmelo left, that team looked like an entirely new team. They didn't have a star. The players bought into the team philosophy. Everybody was working as a team without a star, similar to the way the Atlanta Hawks are playing right now. And it was working. On any given night, you could have a different guy to really lead that team. With the exception of Aaron Aflalo being gone, that's pretty much the same team. Now, JaVale just got traded, I know, but you look at Ty Lawson, he's not playing as well as he was. Gallinari's not. Faried's not. Nobody on that team is playing the way they were playing under Carl. Huh?
You telling me that's coaching?
Why not? It's the same. Look, if I give you the same team that I had, that I was doing okay with, and you get that team and you're not doing okay with it, it's got to be you, right?
No, because Spade, if you got a boss, if you do your job well and you change bosses, do that mean stop doing your job well? These guys are playing like shit.
I'm gonna tell you,
they playing like shit.
I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. And I hate to use a school analogy, but your same third period class when a substitute came in didn't do shit, right? Same class.
He wasn't a substitute, Spade. He was the head coach. He wasn't an interim coach.
That's true, but my point is, players, man, and regardless of the sport, just like it's a job. Certain things I know I can get away with this supervisor, I can't get away with this supervisor or this manager or whatever, this foreman. So I don't know, man. George Karl just ran it better. And you know what? I want to see Brian Shaw have a great coaching career, but I think Brian Shaw failed those guys.
I really do. Spade. I don't agree. It's even reports came out that these guys was in the huddle like 1, 2, 3, 6 weeks because they want the season over with. Like, what is Brian Shaw?
Of course, they want it over with.
What is Brian Shaw to do when they don't want to play? That's their job, to play.
They wanted to play when George Karl was there. George Karl made them want to play. Brian Shaw got to make them want to play. Man, if you'd have came to me before this season started and showed me the Atlanta Hawks starting 5 on paper, I'd have gave you about 40 wins, maybe
They'd have made
50.
the playoffs. They'd have made the playoffs.
Right, but did you ever have them playing like they're playing now? No, it's that coach. That coach came through there, and he got those players to buy into his philosophy. And I don't know why, but Brian Shaw never got these guys to buy into his philosophy. Whatever the hell his philosophy is, they didn't buy it.
Maybe it's the players, babe. And of course, they ain't gonna they ain't gonna cut all 15 players. They're gonna get rid of the one that's easier to get rid of, which is the coach. They ain't give his philosophy a shot.
They might.
They ain't give it a shot. Come on, man. I want these guys to stop taking these bad jobs. Man, I don't know what else to say. To me, I don't think they gave him a shot. They ain't give him a shot.
I would have liked to see him get a longer shot than he was given, but my expectations for Brian Shaw and this team was higher. They look like the worst team in the league right now, and that's funny because the 76ers want to be the worst team in the league, and Denver's competing with them. And they got too much talent on that court to be playing like they're playing. Somebody's got to be held accountable.
Yeah, Ty Lawson, because he is not the player we thought he was. Ty Lawson has been a head case all year. And don't tell me in the comment section, Ty Lawson is averaging blah, blah, blah. Man, don't give me that, man. Ty Lawson has been a head. He's supposed to be a leader for that team. Kenneth Faried has some injuries. Kenneth Faried is another guy that's supposed to be a leader for that team. And for whatever reason, them guys are not leading. Them guys are not leading. Kenneth Faried may be out. Believe that. I'm hearing reports that Kenneth Faried may go to the Knicks. You already know he a Jersey guy. He from New Jersey. I'm serious, bro. It's reports that Kenneth Faried may end up with the Knicks. I'm serious, man.
What?
Like, to me, those guys were supposed to be the leaders of that team, and they were not leading. They was acting like Marky Mark and a Funky Bunch. They was acting like they ain't never been there before, man.
Well, let me ask you this. You think the players with their 1, 2, 3, 6 weeks, do you think that helped get Brian Shaw a ticket up out of there?
Say it again, Spade. Say it again.
No, I'm not going to say it again.
No, I didn't hear you. Say it again, for real.
You trolling me. Do you think
I swear to God, I didn't hear you.
Do you think the players in their 1, 2, 3, 6 weeks, do you think that had something to do with Brian Shaw getting a ticket up out of there?
Definitely. Because the report is Brian Shaw heard him do that. Brian Shaw went back in the locker room, and Brian Shaw clapped back like, yo, we are not going to have this. And then they went and, this is what I read. They went and complained that we don't want to play for this guy and all that, and Brian Shaw had to go. That's what I read. And if that happened, them guys did Brian Shaw they did him dirty, man. They did him dirty. They did him dirty, bro.
Huh?
They did him dirty. I'm not liking how they did Brian Shaw over there. And if moving forward, would you want to coach them clowns? I wouldn't.
Yeah, let me say this. It's some worse teams out there to coach.
Philly lose, but they play hard every night.
No, they don't. They had a guy to play hard. They got him up out of there.
Philly play hard every night, Spade.
They
do, man.
The Denver Nuggets, they're not the first team to do this 1, 2, 3. Let's get this season over with, chant. I mean, that last part might change, but they're not the first person to do this. So,
Yeah. I mean, I just don't like how they did my man Brian Shaw. Patrick Ewing, be smart. Take a good job, bro.
I got bad news for you, man. Pat Ewing ain't smart on taking jobs. He just ain't getting no offers, okay? Ain't nobody offering Pat no job.
So are you telling me that Brian Shaw, Pat Ewing, guys like that are better as coordinators, as assistant coaches?
Yeah, unfortunately so. And you know what? I don't think this is the end of the road for Brian Shaw. A lot of people feel like Brian Shaw is going to end up an assistant for Phil Jackson in New York. Brian Shaw knows the offense.
I can see that.
Him and Phil get along. A lot of people felt like Brian Shaw should have had that coaching job. So, yeah, I mean, I think he'll get another shot as an assistant. I think he'll end up in New York.
Hopefully so, man. Hopefully so. You got anything else, Spade?
Nah, man, a little short show, man. Keep in mind, folks, we're going to try to do these every Wednesday here on this channel. If for some odd reason we're not going to make a Wednesday show, and we do them every Sunday on the Full House. But you need to follow us on Twitter, man, so you guys will know what's going on. That's our Twitter right down there.
Yeah, I want you guys to definitely share your thoughts over here in this comment section. Excuse me. Definitely bang the subscribe button. We almost at 500, so we can create our new. Yeah, we need it. So we can create our new URL. Get people over here. Like he said, we're gonna do this every weekend. If you already here, bang the like button. We appreciate all y'all. We'll see you guys next episode, man.
Peace.
Peace.